This would be embodiment of of the core tools of a lean management system. The top essentially providing direction and focus using a Hoshin process, aligning the projects required to deploy and improve the process. Stability, clear plan versus actual, visual plan versus actual, identification of the problems at each point in the process. Some kind of value stream, chief engineer responsibility for the end-to-end process flow, for coordinating the horizontal flow, as well as the authority over the deployment of resources. And I'm not going, there are many more tools, but there are many. These are some of the key tools that comprise a lean management system. Now, if we go, a lean management system's fine, but what is the transformation process to build that? And this is the latest articulation of the transformation model that we have been discussing, several of us around the globe, with John Shook, that tries to capture the essence of a lean transformation program. It is about solving specific problems in their context. It's about solving specific problems related to those CEO benefits that we're talking about. So it's for solving those problems by developing the capabilities of people involved in the process, overseeing the process and involved in the process, to improve the flow of work. Enabled by leaders able to show clear direction and able to provoke and develop the capabilities by asking the right questions. Not necessarily telling people what to do, but asking questions in order to engage everyone in the organization in the systematic use of Plan, Do, Check, Act. The point of this activity is to engage everyone, everywhere, every day, in using the scientific approach, the Plan, Do, Check, Act process. So this is very different from the traditional consultant-led model of lean deployment that we have seen largely hitherto, in which you had a generic solution offered to the company, in which we were training people in tools and techniques and through Kaizen events. We were using some of the TPS tools to improve the flow of work. But essentially, management's involvement was basically do-it-for-me management. I hire experts and consultants to do it for me. And that led to a lot of consultant dependence, and it led to short-term quick fixes that did not last. So this is a very different approach that is focusing on developing capabilities. And here's a version of a house. If you want to have a picture of this as a house, you have a capability pillar and you have an operations pillar or a process pillar, a work pillar, workflow pillar. You have leadership in the middle. You have the specific focus on a specific business problem at the top, based upon everybody using the scientific approach. And John recently had a very nice e-letter, I don't know if you saw it, about coaching, in which he says that every sensei, at the end of a successful implementation, a successful problem that's been solved, asks, so what? The specific results are fine. You solved that problem, so what? The lasting value is not that solving that problem. The lasting value is the capability to solve the next set of problems. It's the learning that's gone on through solving that problem that you could apply to solving the next problem, next deeper, more complicated problem. Not surprising, this is the basis for the development of managers at Toyota. And success, this is very interesting. The success in doing that is judged by the ability of the team that you leave behind to sustain and improve on what you built with them, on the knowledge you help them develop after you leave. This is completely different to the normal rotation of managers in an organization where the new guy has to make his stamp by coming in and basically trashing everything that's been done and trying something new, whose effects and consequences will probably not be felt until after he leaves 2 or 3 years later. So it produces lots of organizational churn and actually acts against the building up of any capabilities. Here we're judging the success of any intervention by a manager or even a consultant or a sensei. The success of that intervention and that activity is judged by how well that team is able to sustain and build on what you left after you've gone. That's a very different way of judging performance, and that's how we have to begin to think in the future. Changes the role of consultants. And it's the responsibility then of management to focus these actions on the needs of the business and its customers. It's the responsibility of management to direct those activities to the right issues, the right questions, to choose the right problems, to choose the right actions and where to act. So management needs to be able to see, and you can only see by going actually to the Gemba itself, where the value is created. And understanding the context, the wider context of not just the process, but the business itself. And what the wider context is challenging the business to do, and what the technology allows the business to do now that it couldn't do before, to exploit those opportunities. So I think this begins to change our view of transformation. It also begins to change our view of how we think about designing systems for the future. And I think IT and Lean have a great deal to contribute to both of those, but only if we are able to think our way, to explore and experiment our way into a new way of thinking. And the big blockage, I think, is the thought processes that we all come with from our different perspectives. We need to learn from each other. Thank you very much indeed.